Today I'm going to see about converting my fat bike to tubeless. I have a Trek Farley 5, I think it's about 2020 model. I've tried converting the tubes in the past and I've just used Gorilla Tape, and I haven't been able to get a really good seal on the rims, and so it hasn't been real successful. So what I'm going to try today is I have some mat tape that's used to tape down wrestling mats. This is a 4-inch version. I also have some 3-inch. I'm going to give this a shot and see if I can't get a good seal and get a good tubeless setup. So this is my tape job from the last time I was trying to get this set up tubeless. So you can see I just put on here some black Gorilla tape. I can't remember what the size of the roll was, 2 or 3 inches, probably 3 inches, that I might have had to cut down just a little bit to make it fit inside the rim. But the issue I was having was just not getting a good seal. And I don't know if it was like in areas like this where the adhesive might have peeled away a little bit. And I can't remember, I think I might have had to put 2 layers of tape on here to cover the whole width of the rim. So I'm hoping with that wrestling tape, it's a little wider, I'm gonna maybe get a little bit better seal. It's a little bit more of a stretchier tape. So I'm hoping that kind of just fills in all the gaps. So I'll clean this up really good. Probably take this black tape off and see if it works. Hopefully we have some success this time. There's one layer. Left on. So get this off before I get that second layer on. So one thing I am noticing is there's just a lot of this adhesive residue that's left over from this Gorilla tape, which is kind of a pain, but to see if we can get that cleaned up a little bit before I put the other tape on. So I took some alcohol and I cleaned along these metal edges. I also had to grab a little plastic scraper tool and try to get as much of this tape residue off the metal parts as I could. And now my plan is I'm gonna use this wrestling tape. So this is the 3-inch version. You can see it fits right perfectly in that groove right there. So I'm gonna try to see if I can't get a really good seal with this 3-inch tape. We'll go from there. Overlap it 5 or 6 inches there. Cut it off. is a little bit of a stretch to this, so I was trying not to put too much stretch because I didn't want that to narrow on the rim. We'll see how good of a connection we can get along this, and then probably what I'll do is just pump it up without any sealant in it. See if I can just get it to hold some decent air just the way it is. As far as the affordability goes, you know, a roll like this I think was $9, so 3 inches for 84 feet of tape. Pretty affordable if it works. All right, so I'm just going to remove the valve stem real quick and then use my compressor to pump some air in here just to see if I can get the beads of the tire to seal. All right, so seems like I got a pretty good seal on that. I'm just going to leave it as it is for a little bit without any sealant inside. And we'll just see how that holds. And then if it looks like it's holding pretty good, then I'll come back and I'll put some sealant in it, pump it back up, and we'll see if that works, see how long it stays inflated. So I went ahead and put some sealant in the tire. So I had it inflated overnight, and it stayed, it didn't stay fully inflated, it did deflate a little bit. So obviously there's some gaps that the air is getting out. So I put the sealant in, we'll see if that seals it up. We'll watch for another 24 hours, then maybe take it out on a ride. But so far it seems to be doing pretty well. If this works, I'll go ahead and convert the rear tire as well using that wrestling mat tape. So it's been a couple of days, and you can see that this is held in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the back tire and see if I can get it set up tubeless also. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I put the 4-inch tape on this time, and there's a little bit of overlap. So this tape does stretch a little bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm hoping this works. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tire on here. I'm gonna try to inflate it with my compressor and see if I can get that to stretch and create a seal right along the edge of that rim. So I don't know if that's gonna work or not with that tape. It's not necessarily like flush with the rim right now, but I'm hoping, like I said, because it stretches, that with that air pressure, that'll push it down tight on the rim, create a really good seal. And then what I'll do is I'll come along and I'll trim off any of this excess tape that's sticking out the edges. So it seems to have at least temporarily sealed, which means that tape must have stretched enough for it. So that air seems to be holding, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some sealant inside the tire. So I just like to put this in a measuring cup, and then I use a little syringe to put that inside the valve stem. About one or two more of these syringes. So I just try to mix this stuff up a little bit because there are some little particulates in the solution, and they all kind of settle to the bottom, so I don't want them all clogging with my syringe. Oops. Okay, I'll clean that up a little bit, and then I'll go hit it with the air compressor again and seal it up one more time. Okay, so go ahead and just rotate it around a little bit, get some of that sealant all over the place. The main question, I think, will be just the long-term durability of this tape. Like, is it gonna last for an entire season? Is it gonna get brittle? Is it gonna lose its adhesiveness? So we'll check it out and see. Maybe I'll come back in a couple months after using it throughout the season and give you an update as to whether it worked or not. Today is Tuesday. I had the bike out on Saturday, out on the groomed trails, and haven't added any air or anything to the tires. So you can see that's keeping its pressure pretty good. And then the back tire as well. So far so good. Looks like that matte tape is working. We'll keep trying it throughout the season and see what the durability is.